If you are someone who's not watched Men in Black, then you might be very confused right now. But please don't pay attention to this bad cosplay of Men in Black. What you should be paying attention is to the watch from the movie franchise Men in Black. Today we will be talking about the Hamilton Ventura from Men in Black. But not only Men in Black, also from other Hollywood movies. Let's talk about the brand history first. I'm just going to... So Hamilton is a brand which has had a history with almost like everything and also a very extensive history. But it starts with railways. Hamilton was first founded in 1892 in Pennsylvania. And back then they were producing pocket watches. And this is also where the relation with railways start. Because in the early days of American railways, there was no way to accurately measure time. And because there was no method of timing, accidents were frequent. The precision of Hamilton pocket watches helped solve this problem. And because of this, Hamilton received the title of the watch of railroad accuracy. But in 1942, Hamilton stopped producing watches for civilians. Instead, they started producing watches for the American Army, and this is where their association with the military begins. This was the time when they focused on the enormous task of supplying the US armed forces during World War II. Between 1942 and 1945, Hamilton produced over 1 million watches. And they also earned the award for the Army-Navy E Award for Excellence in Manufacturing. And yes, Hamilton did help the army, but they also helped the navy. They produced marine chronometers for the navy and also built an instrument to test the quality of these. And in 1926, their association with the sky starts. Admiral Richard E. Byrd became the first aviator to reach the North Pole. And this was of course timed by a Hamilton watch. In 1927, Hamilton helped early aviators arrive safely on the first flight from California to Hawaii. And in 1930s, Hamilton had become the official watch of the 4 major American commercial airlines of the day. Hamilton was also selected as the official timekeepers for the very first coast-to-coast service from New York to San Francisco. And in 2011, they partnered up with Service Heroes. In 2011, Hamilton became the official watch partner of Air Zermatt, the world-famous mountain rescue team. And in 2022, Hamilton announced its partnership with Air Glaciers, a rescue team with a powerful dedication to honoring their duties in the mountains. So you can already tell that Hamilton has been an instrumental watch in a lot of different careers, basically, like for railroads, for flying, even for the military. And the same thing can be said for Hollywood. Hamilton watches have been featured in over 500 movies, countlessly, and they have also acted as significant plot devices for a movie or a franchise. Coming back to the Hamilton Ventura, specifically, it was released in 1957. It was a symbol of innovation and cutting-edge watchmaking. It was actually designed by Richard Abib, and Hamilton basically told him to just design whatever he wanted without thinking of practicality, and this is what he had come up with. He could never have known that the very first sketch he made would become a 20th century icon that's still turning heads more than 60 years later. It was also the world's first electric watch. It created an instant sensation and revolutionized the world of watchmaking. And it was also like a technological breakthrough in those times because it was powered by an electromagnetic coil. And that was like a new thing because until then, all the watches were just quartz based. 4 years later, this masterpiece appeared on the wrist of the mega star Elvis Presley in his 1961 musical comedy Blue Hawaii. But actually 1961 was not the first year that a Hamilton watch had appeared on television. The first watch which appeared in a movie was in 1932 in the movie Shanghai Express. And I mean, obviously I'm talking about Men in Black. But a Hamilton watch has also appeared in the movie Interstellar. And if anyone has watched that movie, you already know that this watch got featured so many times in the whole movie. It was a very important plot device, and it was quite clearly visible that it's a Hamilton. And this Hamilton was specially made for the movie. The Murph watch, designed and created specially for the movie, is a very important part of the plot and one of the emotional links between the two main characters, the protagonist Joseph Cooper and his daughter Murphy. So this was not like released to the public or something. There was just one watch like this just for the movie, but 5 years later, the custom-made prop watch was brought to life as the khaki field Murph, the 42mm spot-on reproduction of the movie timepiece. Coming back to the topic at hand, finally let's talk about Hamilton, Ventura and Men in Black. The Men in Black franchise has been going on since the 90s, specifically the 1997 when the first Men in Black movie came out. And the thing is that this watch is like a part of the costume of the characters in Men in Black. Like they receive a set of their uniforms and this watch is a part of their uniforms. If I wasn't jealous of them already because they have such cool technology and a cool job, I am even more jealous now. And even in the Men in Black movies, this watch is very clearly visible. There are many scenes where they are just, there's like a frame or two of just this watch. Maybe it's in its case or maybe on a hand. But even on the posters of the 2019 Men in Black movie, you can clearly see this watch. The Hamilton Ventura has a case size of 32mm by 50mm. It has a thickness of 9.27mm. It has 50-meter water resistance and has the lug width of 17mm. The Hamilton Ventura is also called like the official movie watch just because of how many times it has been featured in movies. And the popularity of this watch does stem from the fact that yes, it has been worn by many actors and featured in many films. But other than that, also many people like the watch Hamilton because it's a very easy getaway into the luxury horology if you get a Hamilton watch. And also it's the fact that Hamilton has a very great brand history. So the amount of, uniqueness, accuracy and history attached to the brand does add a lot to its value, looking from the point of like a watch enthusiast. But other than that also, it's not like the watches are not accurate or something. I mean, they have already proven that the designs are great. Just look at the Ventura. But other than that, they have great accuracy too. Actually, around 1964, Hamilton discontinued the Ventura, but it was thankfully brought back in 1988. Even in the 90s, this design was something that no one had seen before, and I feel like that still stands true. I mean, this asymmetrical, unconventional design, but definitely very cool looking, is still something you really don't see that often. Now that I've talked about the watch and its relation to Hollywood, I would like to talk about some of the other watches in this collection, which I think are really cool looking. In 2015, on what was actually Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll's 80th birthday, or would have been 80th birthday, Hamilton bought back the Ventura. This watch was named the Hamilton Ventura Elvis 80 Automatic. So that was in 2015. Then in 2017 came the Elvis 80 Skeleton and Classic Blue Denim. So this watch was released for the 60th anniversary of the release of the Ventura watch. They released two models in this collection. One was a skeletonized version of the Elvis 80 and the other pays an aesthetic tribute to the dawn of the rock and roll era and Elvis's heyday with its 3D printed blue dial, whose textured denim look and actual denim strap evoked the blue jeans that took off in popularity. And in 2022, they dropped the optical illusion Ventura S Quartz. Again, on what would have been the 87th birthday of Elvis Presley, they dropped this design, and basically I think you can clearly tell why it's called an optical illusion. Again, something which made the watch even more unique because already it is asymmetrical and triangular, but now they even added this aspect to its dial. So that was the video, everyone. Thank you so much for watching and stay tuned for more.